Welcome to the EndurHunt podcast. I'm your host, Andrew the Civic. Join me as I share my experiences as an emergent hunter, offer advice on how to overcome challenges, and pursue your passion for hunting. This is episode 4 of the EndurHunt podcast, and I am calling this one, Why Do You Hunt? I want to take this time to talk about the philosophy of hunting, at least for me personally, why I got started from a mental standpoint, and why I continue to hunt to this day. I talked about this very briefly in episode 1 of the podcast, where I talked about my experiences going from an anti-hunter to a hunter. But at the end of the day, for me, I think what it comes down to is a form of self-sufficiency. I like being able to provide for myself and my family. I want to know where the food that's going on my table is coming from to the best of my ability. And this is one thing that I will acknowledge. It is not perfect. I am not able to provide all of the food from my family, from animals that I have killed. I still have to go to the grocery store and buy things. I am on a personal journey of self-sufficiency. I am attempting to learn how to do a garden. I am failing miserably at it. So if you have advice on getting started with a garden, please, I'll take it. If you're watching on YouTube, put some comments on YouTubers that I can follow or books that I can read or something, because I suck at gardening. I'm really bad at it. But anyway, I'm on a personal journey of self-sufficiency. I like being able to know that I shot this animal. It is a wild, truly free-range animal. I handled the meat care myself, and so when I am cooking that up for my wife and me or friends or family, I know the whole life cycle, sort of, for that meat. I know how it was handled. I know there is nothing in it. There's no preservatives. There's no anything in that meat. And I can choose to cook it the way that I want to. I don't just want to make a bunch of burgers and things like that. So I think for me, the food aspect is one of the big ones. I care a lot about where my food is coming from. I don't like farmed food. I don't like the idea of animals being shoved in pens and slaughtered the way that they are today. I think that it's cruel. I love these animals, and I want to have them live lives where they can explore their natural home and landscape, recreate for their species, live the life that they're supposed to live, and then ideally I can take a mature animal out that has gone through their life cycle, has added to the population, and is on their way down, so that the population can actually flourish even more because they're no longer competing for reproductive rights. So that is a huge part of it for me. I like knowing the quality of the food, where it's coming from, the philosophy of taking care of yourself and providing for yourself. I started hunting before the COVID-19 pandemic, but a lot of people started considering hunting after the meat supply got really tighter. I mean, again, this comes down to self-sufficiency, being able to take care of yourself. And the other thing for me is connecting with nature. I work a 9-to-5 type job. I work in the tech industry, so I'm behind a computer all day. And I love being outside. I love being in nature. And there's just something about being in camp, in a tent, even if that tent is attached to my truck. There's just something about being outside that I love. I love being able to be outside, connecting with nature, disconnecting from technology. And so hunting gives me an outlet to do that in a way that most other things can't. It's not like I'm just going to necessarily leave my phone, disappear, and then go do something else outside. I mean, as much as I'd like to say I can do that, it's not really realistic all the time. So I love the aspect of being able to get outside. I love the aspect of being able to disconnect and be at peace with my mind. Things slow down. You, especially on an extended hunt over the course of several days, you might start off difficulty wanting to check your phone or thinking about all the things going on back home that are worrying you, all that stuff going on with work, all the stress. But by days, 3, 4, you're just in the moment trying to embrace the hunt. For me personally, day 2, I'm already like, let's do this. I'm in here. And so I love that aspect of hunting. I love being able to disconnect. I love being able to focus in the moment of the things that's going on, living in the present. And then I think the last thing for me is I love the pursuit. I love the challenge. At heart, I'm a very competitive person. Everything is kind of a competition, if I'm being honest. I want to be the best at everything that I do. It's how I'm wired. I don't like to half-ass anything. And so when I start something, I want to be really good at it. I'm not saying that I need to be Cameron Hanes or Joe Rogan or whomever else, but I want to be good at it. I compare myself to myself, and I want to know that every time I go out there, every season, I either have better knowledge, better skills, more experience, whatever, that is going to make me more effective. And I like the challenge of the animals, to be honest. I am unsuccessful way more than I am successful. I have gone on that's not true anymore. I have now gone on 3 elk hunts, and 2 of which I have been unsuccessful, despite having multiple opportunities in some cases. I mean, the first elk hunt that I had in Utah, I completely blew it. It was a rifle elk hunt. I had an elk 50 yards in front of me. The genius that I was back then, I was going up a very steep ridge, way too steep to be calling, but I was calling, and the wind was at my back going up the ridge. I'm calling, I hear rustling above my head, I look, sure enough, there's a bull, looks at me for half a second. I attempted to bring my rifle up because this was Utah early season. It's like the beginning of October, so there's still a little, you can still effectively call and bugle and stuff, and they might come in. So I pick my rifle up, and at this point, by the time I get the rifle up, he is gone. He is booking it to the point of no return. And it was very similar when I was back there for my archery hunt. I called them in and I was facing the wrong direction, or they weren't coming in, but those are tools in the toolbox for going into the future. I love the challenge, and knowing that more often than not I'm going to be humbled, and someone like me needs to be humbled. I like the humility. I like the challenge, having to get better, having to think of new ways to strategize and go into it. It's a lot of fun. And that's the last thing, is I just have a great time on being out there. Most of the time I am now hunting with other people, whether that's my wife or some of my best friends. The camaraderie of being out and hunting with other people, man, hunting by itself is fun, but hunting with other people is just, it's so awesome. I have a successful hunt every time I go out with my best friends because we were out there together. And that's one of the things for me, and this is a personal thing for me, it's probably not going to be applicable to most of you. But my best friend Peter, the guy who got me started in hunting, who pushed me over the edge in the beginning, our annual hunt is the most time that we get to see each other nowadays. Honestly, even when I lived in New Jersey, we didn't see each other that much. But now that I live in Texas and he lives in Pennsylvania, that 1 week, 2 weeks maybe that we get together, that's what we've got. There is nothing else. And so for me, that is another really big thing for me, is that extra camaraderie that I get with him. I mean, he's my best friend. I love spending time out there with him, and I don't get that any other way. To sum it up for me, number 1 is self-sufficiency and knowing where my food came from. I like being able to provide for myself and my family. I like knowing what's in my food, the quality of the food. Number 2 is the ability to disconnect from society and connect with nature. I like that forced disconnect. I like not having a cell phone signal. That's just how I am. Number 3 is the challenge. I love being challenged. I love being humbled by the animals. I'm really competitive, and that drives me to get better and to be better. And then number 4 is the camaraderie and the fun. I mean, you can go either way. I kind of lump those together. Hunting solo is a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun when I'm hunting by myself, regardless. But the camaraderie of being with people makes it so great. I can go on a hunt and suck it up for 10 days and not leave with any animals and just have an amazing time with my buddies. There's nothing quite like bonding over a challenge like that. All right, well, those are my 4 reasons for why I like to hunt, the philosophy I have behind hunting. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave in the comments if I missed anything from your perspective. That is why you like to hunt, what your philosophy on hunting is. And if you're listening to this on an audio-only platform, you can follow me on Instagram at EndurHunt, or go on YouTube and watch the videos on EndurHunt. Shoot me a comment there or a DM. Let me know what you think I missed or why I'm totally wrong. Either way, it's fine. If you're listening to this at all, I greatly appreciate you taking the time out of your day to spend some time listening to me talk about something that I'm really passionate about. So thank you for that. Until next time, guys, thank you for listening and watching.